I have now been parenting for more than 18 years, so I decided to share with you 18 things that I have learned along the way. Now listen, I am not a parenting expert, okay? That's why I'm wearing my perfect parent until I had kids shirt. But these are 18 things that have helped me along the way, and maybe some of them will help you. Number one, spend more time focusing on being a good person than being a good parent, because our kids will learn more from watching how we live than us telling them how to live. So let your kids see you screw up. It'll teach them to be human. Let them see you give yourself grace. It'll teach them to forgive themselves when they make a mistake. Let them see you be kind and brave. Let them see you love your body instead of criticize it. Let them see you prioritize your mental health. Number two, stop trying to enjoy every single moment of parenting, because then you're gonna fail at it, and then you're gonna feel guilty, and all that beating yourself up is just a waste of time. Number three, I write in my book how parenting is not like riding a bike. You know how you have one kid and then you figure out how to solve something, so you think it'll be just as easy to solve them with the second one because you learned? Okay, the first one might be a bicycle, but the second one might be a tractor. My youngest, he's a spaceship. I'm still figuring out how to parent him. So treat each child as an individual. Number four, your kid needs to feel needed, not just loved, because it builds confidence and it gives them value. So let me give you an example with little ones. Mom brings home a new baby and the older toddler is like, what just happened to my world? Make them feel needed. So have that kid help pick out the onesie the baby's gonna wear, what color bottle you're gonna use. And same with older kids. If your kid has something they're passionate about, ask them to teach you. Now they feel like they have something to offer. They are needed. Number five, and this is one I have learned through making many mistakes. Ask yourself whether your child's bad behavior means that they need a consequence or whether they need help. Prioritize their mental health. A lot of times we will just label kids as the bad kid, the rebellious kid, without actually dealing with the root of the problem. Number six, okay, this is a tip I heard years ago. It has literally saved me at times. You know when you have those moments in parenting where you're frustrated, it's a long day and your kid is doing something and you just want to scream at them? Every time you are tempted to scream, you first have to get down on their level and give them a big hug. And then say whatever you wanted to say. I'm telling you, something happens. The minute you have that connection with your kid, it will calm you and you will be able to communicate with them calmly and more effectively. Number seven, replace because I said so with because I love you. It's just a simple little reminder that the reason there are rules, the reason you expect certain behavior is because you love them and you want to set them up for a great future. Number eight, don't worry if your children don't like you 100% of the time. Your job is not to be liked by your kid. Your job is to raise decent, kind, responsible human beings. And in order to do that, sometimes you're gonna have to set some consequences and rules that are gonna make them not like you. It's not personal. So the way I see it, if all of my children like me 100% of the time, I'm probably sucking at parenting. Number nine, starting when my kids were like 6 or 7 and then on, when they would argue with each other, I would have them switch roles. So my son had to argue my daughter's point of view, and my daughter had to argue my son's point of view. And it just takes this moment where you're fighting and everybody's angry, and it turns it into laughter because it's really silly to have to argue the other person's point of view, but also it creates empathy. So have your children do this and also try it in your marriage. Number 10, I've learned with my teens that if I don't shut up, they're gonna shut down. I need to listen more and talk less, which is really hard for someone like me who considers run-on sentences or daily workout. Number 11, stop chasing the fairy tale and embrace the adventure. You know all those ideas and expectations you set of what parenting will look like? Okay, take those, crumple them up, and flush them down the toilet. And same with your idea of who you thought your child would be. Because your job is not to decide who your child is. Your job is to really pay attention and get to know them, and then guide them to be the best version of who they authentically are. Number 12, kids first, ego last. In my book, I write about how that formula applies to how I deal with my ex-husband and his relationship with the kids, but it really applies also to your kids' grades, what will so-and-so think, you apologizing to your child when you owe them an apology. Always put your ego in the back. We don't have time for it. Number 13, the parenting style that has worked best for me, I call fun, strict parenting. I have to be strict at times because I want to raise good humans, but as much as I need to be a rule enforcer, I need to be a fun enforcer because life will get hard and I need to teach my children to find the fun. Plus, rules without that genuine love and genuine communication and the bond that's built through the fun will only cause bitterness and distance and rebellion. Number 14, and I think this is something most parents struggle with. Try your best not to parent out of fear, because when you parent out of fear, you're going to end up focusing on the negative, on everything that is going wrong. Instead, do your best to try to catch them doing good. So for example, my son was not on his best behavior, and I'd written a list for him of all the things he needed to do to earn this privilege he wanted. And I was headed to his room with this list, and then I caught myself, went back and decided nope, and added an even longer list underneath of all the things he was already doing right. Catch them doing right. Number 15, you're not failing, you are learning. You're gonna make mistakes, not because you're a bad parent, but because you are human. So every time you feel like, I'm failing, why don't I know this? Just reframe it and say, nope, I'm learning. Number 16, I don't know if you've seen my It's Not Permanent video, but in it I talk about how anything frustrating or complicated I'm going through as a parent, I try to add right now. So for example, my child's not sleeping through the night and I'm so exhausted right now. My teenager is acting like they hate me right now. It just is a nice reminder that it is a phase and it will pass. And by the way, some phases are really difficult and they're just meant to be endured. You're not going to be able to fix it all. It's okay. Number 17, talk about everything. I don't care how uncomfortable it is, awkward, weird. Create an environment where from a young age, your children feel like they can come to you with all of their questions. For example, sex. If your young kid comes to you and they ask you something about sex, if you dismiss them, if you think that is going to get them to stop asking you, you're right, they'll stop asking you and start asking somebody else. Number 18, we all love our children so much and we just want to make life easier for them and we want to fix it all and we never want them to be disappointed. Don't do that. Don't fix it all for them. Let them be disappointed because in life, they will face disappointments and they need to know how to deal with that. There's this one quote I love and I'm not sure who said it originally. Our job is to prepare our children for the road, not to prepare the road for our children. The more we treat our children as competent human beings, the more they will act like competent human beings. There are a lot of other parenting thoughts I write about in my book, but these are just the first 18 that came to mind. And if you want me to make a separate video covering any of these topics in depth, let me know in the comments.